talking to my ag banker early in the fall this year, and I said, what is some of your advice you would give to farmers going forward? And he said, talk to your banker sooner rather than later. When times get tough, I know you don't want to go talk to the banker right away. You want to kind of figure things out on your end and figure out how can I still make this thing work. But the best thing you can do is get in, talk to the banker early, because it's easier for them to work with you, especially if you're kind of in a tight situation, if you get in there sooner.
One of the most important things you can do when you go to talk to your banker is speak their language. It's just like if you spoke English and somebody was trying to talk Spanish to you, you're not going to get it. Okay, so what does the banker know? Well, the banker knows numbers. So make sure you come prepared with numbers. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of times, bankers are simply looking at the numbers and they say, your expenses are way up here, I want you to cut them down to here. Okay, that's great to just talk about in general. So then, if you feel like, boy, I don't want to cut these expenses because then if I do, my yield's going to go down, which means my profit's going to go down, you've got to come with numbers to say, all right, let's break this down a little bit. Let's talk about for a fungicide, for example, that's part of my crop protection expense. Okay, yes, we can call it expense, but here's how I look at that: investment. If you have anything on your farm to show them yield data, even over the last 10 years, you go in with a yield map and show, okay, here's where I did the fungicide, here's where I did not. As you can see, I'm gaining more yield with that. Fungicide prices have come down. If I run the math, I gain this much yield, here's the commodity price, here's the fungicide price. All right, this is my return on investment. Oh, and by the way, here is on an APR basis what my return on investment is. If you go in and talk that way, your banker is going to go, oh, okay, maybe we need to rethink this overall cutting expenses. Let's cut specific things. So now let's get down to what is not making us money. That's what we want to cut.
One of the great things about farmers is, for the most part, we've been working on return on investment all our lives and just didn't realize it. Think about it this way. If you're going to invest $5 in any crop input, how much response do you want to see? Well, you want to see at least a $10 gain. Well, that's a 2-to-1 return on investment. And then you think about, when are you doing these things? Well, maybe you're applying a fungicide in June and you're harvesting in October 4 months later. Well, if you can get a doubling of your money in just 4 months' time, well, that's tremendous. That's a tremendous annual percentage rate return. So talk to your banker about those kinds of things, about, look, I'm not doing these things that I'm going to spend $5 and get $5 back. I'm investing $5 and I'm getting $10 back. Those are great returns on investment.
Yeah, the most important thing here, and this certainly is not rocket science, it's really just communication. But again, I just want to reiterate here, make sure you're speaking in the banker's language. Make sure when you go in to meet with the banker that you come prepared to talk about the things on your farm that are going to make money, the things you think, hey, we can maybe cut a little bit of this over here, but get to what the banker is really interested in. And quite frankly, you got to think about this the other way too. A lot of times we as farmers think, oh, the banker doesn't want to loan me money. That could not be farther from the truth. The banker wants to loan you more money. That's how the bank makes money, is by loaning money out. So they want to loan you more. You just have to show them, here's why you should loan me more, and I can make more money, meaning I'm good for paying that money back to you.
And one of the ways to show that, bankers, with each input investment that you're making, have some yield data to back it up. Do some trial work on your farm each year and have a little study on your farm that, you know what, when I bump my planting population, here's my return on investment. When I sprayed this herbicide, well, look, I left one little check strip and here's what the yield did. When I spray fungicide, leave a check strip and see what your yield differences are. That way you'll be able to make better decisions. You'll also be able to sell those decisions to your banker.
Well, one of the things that's usually pretty easy to invest money in is weed control. We're going to talk about the weed control options for our Weed of the Week coming up next.